So, Doom's going to take over the multiverse. He's not going to do it alone. Who's going to help him? Let's discuss his potential allies. So throughout the multiverse, there's going to be different variants of Doom, potentially, variants of Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, all of the Avengers, Thanos, or King Thanos, a version of Thanos that beat the Avengers and executed his plan perfectly. Maybe a version of Thanos that has a slightly different plan to impress Lady Death, like in the comics, or achieved other things, who knows. So a variant of Thanos. We can understand why Doom would have a version of Thanos on this team. First of all, see, Thanos is the Avengers' biggest threat. Throughout Infinity War and Endgame, Thanos has proved to be a worthy adversary. Now imagine a version of Thanos that beat the Avengers and got what he wanted, or a version of Thanos that maybe didn't beat the Avengers and Doctor Doom is the one to assist him. I can imagine Doom approaching all these characters that will be on this team and promising them everything they wanted. Thanos, for example. Doom could approach Thanos and promise him a world of balance where no one is starving, the world isn't overpopulated, a world of balance.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
No one goes hungry in Battle World. There's enough resources for everyone. It isn't overpopulated. You could see why Thanos would potentially team up with Victor Von Doom. And Victor Von Doom could prove this. As we know in the comics, he's actually a good ruler of Latveria. He cares about his people. He doesn't let them go hungry. He has all of this to back up if he was to approach someone like Thanos. He could show him his world where he's actually a good ruler and where this would benefit Thanos on joining his team. But he could also manipulate Thanos, use him like a pawn.
In chess, the pawns go first. Humans and their guns.
Like I'm sure he will with all of his team. Or Thanos could potentially try to use him and eventually betray him, but end up just like this comic panel. Now what would make sense, and something I know the fans would love to see, is an introduction to Captain Hydra, aka Captain America who turns evil and serves Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
We can imagine Victor Von Doom promising him everything he wants, whatever Captain Hydra's motives may be. But I think it would be rewarding having a variant of Captain America, but evil, to have characters like Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes facing off a evil version of Cap, or potentially redeeming Captain Hydra. A decent way to bring back Chris Evans to the Avengers team, or just to have him included in the movie, because that's going to drive up hype. There's been a lot of rumours and speculation that Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, will be in Avengers Doomsday. It only makes sense. We've had a scene where we see her statue in Deadpool Wolverine. It's also led to believe that maybe she survived the events of Multiverse of Madness. There were rumours / leaks, again I use leaks in the term loosely because who really knows what's going on with this film. What is suggested is that Wanda will be on Team Doom and potentially they will have a romantic relationship.
What is this?
Regardless of why Wanda is on Team Doom, Doom has a lot to potentially offer. If he is to succeed in creating Battleworld, he could create a universe where she has her family back, her sons, potentially Vision, if Wanda and Doom aren't a thing. He could even give her back Quicksilver. He could help her wreak revenge on the Avengers that opposed her. We know that Wanda has a vendetta against Tony Stark as one of his missiles killed her parents. I think it very much makes sense for Wanda to be on Team Doom. With Robert Downey Jr. returning as Victor Von Doom, could we potentially see either Robert Downey Jr. or a different actor playing as a variant of Iron Man? I know the fans, much like myself, are desperate to see superior Iron Man introduced into the MCU, whether it's Robert Downey Jr. playing as him. I know Tom Cruise would be fitting, as he was in talks to play Iron Man all the way back before the first Iron Man film. A lot of people speculated that superior Iron Man would show up, played by Tom Cruise, in Multiverse of Madness. It didn't happen. In the trailer clip, unfortunately, it was a variant of Monica Rambeau's mother. I know the fans, and much like myself, are desperate to see superior Iron Man show up in the MCU. This version of Iron Man is from the comic book run Superior Iron Man, where we see a version of Tony Stark without morals, and he's very much doing his own thing. He's quite villainous, but at the same time he's not a straight up villain. He's just doing things for his own selfish interest.
Look at little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry?
we could very much see how Victor Von Doom and a variant of Iron Man could have an alliance, with them sharing the same fates potentially and them having some sort of loyalty to each other. We know that a selfish version of Iron Man, like Superior Iron Man, would very much just join Doom for his own selfish reasons of surviving his universe coming to an end, potentially having trust in each other for potentially being variants of each other. Maybe this version of Iron Man lost Pepper, Happy Hogan, Peter Parker, all of his potential loved ones, and Doctor Doom, with his cunning plan, is able to guarantee him in Battleworld that he can gift him all of these people in this new reality that he's going to create. As we know in the comics, Superior Iron Man is very villain-like. Makes sense for villains to team up with one simple goal. Maybe Superior Iron Man will join Doctor Doom in the hope of overthrowing him once Doom constructs Battleworld. Another potential ally is Hulk. As we know in the MCU, Bruce Banner's best friend is Tony Stark. They build a bar together after the events of Infinity War that we see in the She-Hulk series. Bruce Banner doesn't really have many actual personal friends.
Napping?
I drifted.
Where did I lose you?
Elevator in Switzerland.
The only character we see him actually bonding with is Tony Stark. So we see him in the end credit scene of Iron Man 3. We see the two of them get on like a house on fire in the Avengers film.
Your work on anti-electron collisions is unparalleled, and I'm a huge fan of the way you lose control and turn into an enormous green rage monster.
And in Age of Ultron, when they create Ultron, Tony Stark even collaborates with him on the Hulkbuster armor, like we see in Age of Ultron, and that we see Bruce Banner use in Infinity War.
Oh, it's amazing, man! It's like being the Hulk, not action. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Doctor Doom, sharing the same face as Tony Stark, could gain the trust of either our Bruce Banner or a variant of Bruce Banner and have a version of the Hulk on his team of Dark Avengers. It would make sense whether Doctor Doom is going to impersonate Tony Stark or just gain the trust of Bruce Banner by telling him he's a variant, to have him and the Hulk on his team, or if Doctor Doom will be more straight up and gift him what he wants on Battleworld. We know Bruce Banner has had a hard life throughout the MCU, constantly on the run in the events of Incredible Hulk, with the world not really accepting him, with him eventually building a family with the Avengers. But we could also imagine where Doctor Doom could promise him on Battleworld that he could gift him a normal life without the Hulk, with the return of Betty that we saw in Captain America Brave New World. We could see Doctor Doom perhaps make a deal or a promise with a variant of Hulk where he gifts him a normal life in this new reality that he'll create. As we know in Infinity War, Hawkeye lost his entire family to Thanos' snap. Could you imagine Doctor Doom going to a universe where Thanos won and the Avengers didn't bring everyone back and Hawkeye was still Ronin, and Doctor Doom goes to Ronin and he can promise him he can bring back his family in this new reality. All he has to do is serve and assist him in creating this new world of Battleworld. And with Hawkeye, who very much, as we see in the events of Endgame, goes rogue, goes quite dark, takes his anger out on all the criminals, that he maybe is willing to team up with the likes of Doom in order to gain his family back. With Doctor Doom sharing the same face as Tony Stark, whether he's a variant or they share the same face, much like Human Torch and Captain America, we can imagine perhaps the end credit scene of Spider-Man Brand New Day where Victor Von Doom shows up.
Rent?
And he makes a deal. He promises him that he can bring back his Aunt May. He can make sure that everyone remembers who he is. He can construct some sort of deal with Peter Parker. Perhaps even just looking like Tony Stark would be enough to gain the likes of still we're growing and learning Peter Parker. We know that obviously Peter Parker misses Tony Stark. It could be a case where Victor Von Doom is able to manipulate Spider-Man easily just by sharing the same face as Tony, or by simply promising him that he can give him back everything that he's lost throughout his trilogy. This would also be a perfect time for Spider-Man to gain the Venom symbiote, which we get in the comics from Secret Wars. So potentially we could even have the likes of a symbiote black suit Spider-Man joining Doom's Dark Avengers, whether it's a different universe of Spider-Man, one similar to Earth 616, or even our Spider-Man from Universe 616 joining Doom but not knowing Doom is the villain. Conquering the multiverse and turning it all into one universe is one big of a job, too big just for one man to accomplish. As much as Doctor Doom is one of Marvel's greatest villains of all time, he's surely going to need a little bit of help here. here and there. It would also make sense that Doom manipulates the Fantastic Four. I have a few theories already on why Doom is in the after credit scene of Fantastic Four First Steps. It would make sense for him to approach them, work with Reed Richards in learning about multiverse travel, and then moving forward with his plan in manipulating the Fantastic Four, especially in manipulating their child, Franklin Richards, and potentially Valeria, if they introduce her into the MCU, to assist him on his plan. With Franklin having the power of Cosmic, this could be Doom's way, or the MCU's way, of instead of using Molecule Man, of using a being so powerful like Franklin Richards to help achieve Doom's plan and make it come into fruition. Obviously, we know that the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and the Wakandans are all going to be in this movie. There's already been multiple rumours and leaks and such, but as well as confirmation from the actor that plays Nightcrawler, who confirmed that he fights Mr. Fantastic in Doomsday, that there's going to be conflict between the X-Men and the Avengers, much like how we've gotten in the comics, Avengers vs. X-Men.
We're the Avengers, man.
Fuck the Avengers. Yeah.
It would make sense that Doom would create distractions and manipulate other players in this game so he can carry out and execute his plan without having many people in his way, and to create this distraction so that these characters can do his dirty work and so that he can carry out his plan undetected and without interference. We do know, especially from the comics, that Doom gets a lot of people to do his dirty work. Surely it would make sense for him to have his own team of Avengers to carry this out, or at least to take the heat off him whilst he gets busy with his plan. In the comics, whilst universes are fighting each other, he's off with Molecule Man, and that's kind of how Doom is able to get to where he is in the Secret Wars comics. Whilst universes are fighting each other, he's off doing his own thing in the shadows, out of everyone's way, and I can very much see this happening with Doom manipulating the X-Men, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four,
What do you mean, you people?
or having his own team of Avengers doing this for him whilst he seeks Loki or Kang in order to gain the ultimate power to control the multiverse.
I just want to die.
You can die when I say so. I control you. I control the universe. Why am I bragging about that? I have nothing to prove. I'm surrounded by inferior pieces of and...
He could also do this to cause more incursions, to ensure that all universes fall apart so that he can create his one universe and seek total control. And it would also make sense for all these characters to side with Doom in order for their survival whilst all universes are coming to an end. We already know that the multiverse saga is coming to an end and that these incursions are already happening. After the events of Multiverse of Madness, we see Doctor Strange leave to take on these incursions. The multiverse is already coming to an end. We've also seen this in Deadpool and Wolverine, with Paradox seeking the end of Deadpool's universe. So it would make sense for all these characters in dead universes or universes that are dying to team up with Doom just for their survival or for the survival of their friends and allies. So yeah, that was my theory on the potential allies Doom may have in Avengers Doomsday. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know who you think will team up with Doom in the comments. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.